Hello everyone, this is Dr. Tony Moore, also known as the Boss Builder. Today I'm going to put on my legal hat because sometimes people just don't know. And I get that, I appreciate that. I am first generation everything. So I understand and appreciate that most people just don't know. But I also know that when you know better, you do better. So one of the things that I do want to talk to you about is just business entities. Like if you're a business person, businessman, then you got to be about your business. If you're a businesswoman, you have to be about your business. And to be about your business, you need to know about your business. First, the first thing that you need to do is figure out what you want to do. What's your voice? What's the thing that you wish that you could see and that someone else could do and no one else is doing? That's pretty much where you should first figure out, does that work for you? Oftentimes it starts with something that you like. And then once you walk by faith and figure out that you really like something, then you might start loving another area. And you're like, you know what? I think I want to specialize in this area. I think I want to offer my products and services in this area. And as soon as you exchange monies, you have to ask yourself one thing and one thing only. Are you going to exchange money not protected by law? Or are you going to continually exchange money and just do your own thing? Because when you do not separate yourself from your business, then if anything should happen, even a hater knocking on your door and just want to come after you, then they can come after your personal things as well as your business things. So if you've decided that you're going to start your own business, you're going to walk by faith, then the next thing you have to do is pick an entity. And there's so many different types of entities because most people just say, I just started my business. They go online, they Google something, and then they see someone else, oftentimes not an attorney, and they say, oh, I'm going to do an LLC. Well, you have to ask yourself before you start jumping in just because someone told you to do it. You got to ask yourself whether or not it works for you. See, if it works for you, it works for you. But LLCs don't always work for everybody. It's great to have a limited liability corporation. It's great to have that limited liability. There's also some benefits for having a limited liability corporation. But you should never just start your life and start your business just because someone said something without knowing the ins or out. Let me introduce you to a couple other areas that you can maybe possibly consider. One, if you're just starting out, you really don't know anybody, don't even know if you want to do this business for the rest of your life, let alone like the next 2 years, you might want to just start out as a sole proprietor. And as a sole proprietor, you do it in your name only. If you don't want to use your name for your business, but you're using that business name already, then you might want to do something called research. Research your department of corporation and see if someone else is using that name. One thing I have found is that there's nothing new under the sun. And every time I have this great idea, I just do a little internet research and voila, someone else has already discovered it. And you never want to start using something and get known by a certain name and someone's already trademarked that name. So if nothing else, check to see if your name is original or if you are crouching onto someone else's legal rights. If you choose to use this name and it's not your own name, then you need to file a fictitious name, a doing business as we always know. If you do not do that and you start doing business in a name that's not your own, in most states, including Pennsylvania, it's a criminal offense. And you know, criminal offense, that means it's either a fine or jail time. Because essentially, if you are using another name that's not your own, then it's fraudulent. You're defrauding the government, you're defrauding people, and you're defrauding your community. So if you are going to use a name, or if you are using a name, let's keep it real, you might want to register it with your state's Department of Corporation. Then there's joint ventures where you can have a partnership. You can even have a limited partnership in certain professional entities. And if you are going to do that with regards to the partnership, you might want to do what I've always said and get like a prenup agreement. While you and your partner is happy, iron out everything. The ins, the outs, the what ifs. What if someone gets sick? Especially if what if someone gets sick? Shout out to my insurance agents who already know and are already marketing Keyman's Clause. Because if someone gets sick, do you really want to have a business with the person's ex-husband, ex-wife, or their husband and wife who you really know that they don't understand the business? Another thing that you might want to consider in addition to LLCs is a corporation. There's a C Corp, and there's an S corp. You can definitely choose which one works for you, whether you want to get taxed at your level or at the corporate level. But that's a decision. That's not something that you should just Google or just do just because your friend told you to. Other thing, some people are just all about the service. They're not about the profit. They want to do good and do good works. As an attorney who handles a lot of nonprofit work, I can pretty much tell you that, you might want to consider doing a nonprofit corporation. And in nonprofit corporations, right now, you cannot be an LLC. So if you jumped into something, decided that you wanted to be an LLC because somebody told you to, and then decided, 6 months, 9 months, a year later, you know what, this may be better off, this business services that I'm offering, better off as a nonprofit. And if that is the case, then you definitely want to have to reconsider, and you'd have to change your corporate documents all over again so that it can fit into what you want. Then there's also like trust that you can start. You can start a co-op agreement. You can start a whole bunch of other things that without just saying, oh, someone told me I need to do an LLC. Because LLC is nice, but like I said, figure out what works for you first before you start cutting and pasting and doing stuff just because somebody else told you. Because easy is not always good. Cheap is not always best. You already know that because you're a business person. So as a business person, congratulations, you're a business person. You got to be about your business. And one of the things that you have to be about your business is the legal liability, the registration, and also the protection of your coins. So as a business person, I'll just start right there with regards to choosing the right entity that works for you. So seek it out. Figure it out and make it work for you. Don't just let anyone just pick and choose something because it works for them or it's easier for them. But always, always, always do your own research and ask yourself, does this work? Ultimately, the choice is yours. Ultimately, the business is yours. Ultimately, the legal liability will be yours as well. So cover your assets at all times, okay? And I'll talk to you later. Thank you and have a great day.